Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome back to Outdoor Adventures. I'm Frozen, and thanks so much for joining me. We got 44 days until my Pacific Crest Trail through hike begins on April 12th. And today, what I want to talk about is my cook system and my water carry system. So let's start with this. Should be a really simple video. There's not much to this stuff. Typically on my backpacking trips, my water carry system consists of this. It's two 1-liter smart water bottles. One has a sports flip cap from the smaller bottle, and I carry a Sawyer squeeze filter on the other one. That way I can scoop my water up, I can put my filter on, and I could filter the water into a clean water container. Now on the PCT, the system is going to look very similar as far as functionality, but I'm adding not 2 more liters, but 4 more liters extra water carrying capacity to bring my capacity up to 6 total liters. And I'm doing that mainly for the desert section, at least to start out for the first 700 miles. It can be pretty dry. Water sources can be, up to 20 miles away between sections here. And I just want to make sure I'm not relying on any outside force, whether it's trail magic or water caches or seasonal streams. I want to make sure I'm staying hydrated in the desert section. So we have 4 1-liter smart water bottles and a 2-liter Evernew bag. When I need this between long carries, this is a great little, soft baggy system where this can completely roll up and be thrown in a mesh pocket outside your backpack. But it also has served me well for many years. And the reason why I like this over something like the Nock Vecto is it's just simple. The little screw cap, you put the cap back on and your water is sealed in. I've never had a problem with one of these, except whenever I attach a kind of a filter to it and put a lot of stress on the kind of the fused sections over here. And this actually works really good with a V-strap or even a single strap over a backpack, like the top of the lid, because of the design with the curves on the side. And it's way more pronounced whenever it's filled up to capacity. So 2-liter Evernew and 4 1-liter smart water bottles with my trusted Sawyer squeeze filter. I've been using Sawyer squeezes for years. I had, I think, 1 or 2 on the AT through hike that worked incredibly well, and just gotta stay with what I know works. There's no sense in changing things when I don't have to. Switching gears to my cook kit, and everything is gonna be self-contained in my pot right here. First of all, I'm using a pot koozie, and the reason why I'm doing that is because, sometimes I like to have coffee. In fact, every day I like to have coffee. I mean, who doesn't love coffee on the trail? And I'm no different. I drink my coffee out of my pot, and then I also like to eat oatmeal at the same time. So I use this as a eating vessel. So I'll put my packets of oatmeal with the boiling water inside of the packets. I don't do any cooking in my pot whatsoever. It's only for boiling water, and that works out well because I don't like a lot of cleanup. The only thing I want to clean up is the garbage in my spoon, which is a Toaks long-handled polished bowl. I feel like anybody that doesn't have a polished bowl, I just look at them and be like, what is wrong with you? What are you doing with your life? But no, for real, I love the polished bowl. It's working great. It's easier to clean in my opinion, and it doesn't like crunch on your teeth when you accidentally hit it. But anyway, back to this. This is a vessel for not only eating out of, but it also keeps my food really warm on those cold mornings. Say I'm not ready to get my oatmeal, I put my oatmeal packets in here or in north side, allow it to rehydrate, and there it is. I just made this with some Reflectix. I'll put a tutorial right up in the corner over there for you if you're interested. And this has been working out well. Again, something I used on the AT, and I'm not going to change my system, but who knows? In the desert, might be too hot for one of these, and maybe we'll finally see me move on to a different way of doing things. All right, my pot is a different pot than I've been using. I've been using this for about a year now. I got it for Christmas last year. This is a Toaks Light 650 mil. I went down from a 750 or a 700 mil pot to a 650, and this is great. I love the actual coffee cup handles way more than I liked my last Toke's pot because I think the handle is like kind of made a little wobbly. And in here, I'll have a mini Bic lighter. I'll have a small fuel canister, and I'll have my stove. Now, for the past several years now, I've been using the BRS titanium stove, that cheap knockoff $25 stove or whatever it is. Worked great for an entire AT through hike, but it's not as fuel efficient as it could be. I mean, it's a cheap light stove. It weighs under an ounce, but I decided to bump up to something more substantial considering I'm going to be, you know, sometimes over 10,000 feet in elevation. This is the Soto Amicus. Now, I researched a lot of different stoves when I was looking for this guy. I researched the Pocket Rocket 2, the Pocket Rocket Deluxe, the Soto Windmaster, among many, many others. And I narrowed it down to those kind of 4 stoves, and ultimately I chose the Amicus over everything. And the reason being is while the Soto Windmaster looks great, it has a little removable like pot stand thing that goes up top and kind of like squeezes around the base, and you remove that every time you pack it away, or I guess you can. And I know, knowing myself as well as I do, I'm gonna lose that thing. So I wanted something integrated, even though I think this is a little bit heavier. It's 2.3 ounces. I chose to not get the igniter on it, just one less thing that can break in my opinion. I'm already carrying a couple lighters, so I really don't need the igniter system. And that's what I'm bringing. The stove fits great on the pot. It's really stable. And like I said, everything just kind of packs down into this pot system. And I think this is going to work out very, very well for me on the PCT. Okay, last couple pieces of gear are my food storage system. You know, how am I going to carry 4 to 5 days of food on my back? What am I going to carry? How am I going to hang it? Let's talk about it real quick. All right, so this is the food bag, the Light AF flat bottom food bag that I used on the entire Appalachian Trail through hike. Going strong, no abrasion, no tears, no issues with the buckles or the snap, nothing. I like these bags very, very much for the simple fact that, well, 1, it's holding up great, and 2, it's flat bottom, so it means you can like kind of put it here in front of your stove, block out the wind, and it doesn't like fall over all the time, which drives me nuts with a lot of other food bags. And I always thought that that food bag was great, but it was just a little too small for through hiker food. Now, I wasn't aware of this, but Light AF actually has a large version of this bag, which is what I'll be using on the Pacific Crest Trail. This, I think, is going to work out great. I think I can get 5 to 6 days of food in here. Inside is a Dyneema composite fabric rock sack bag. So you're ready to hang the food bag up for the night. You put a rock in here, throw it over a tree after you attach your line to it. There's a little carabiner on my line. This is some Lawson reflective bear bag line. About 30 feet is what I found really works well for me. And that just kind of lives in the Light AF DCF food bag. So I'll be using this primarily on my PCT through hike, but I also need another food carry system, and that's where the elephant in the room comes from. I'm required to, at least in the Sierras section and a section in Washington by the time I get there, to carry a bear canister. Now this is a Bear Vault BV 475. It's in between the 2 most popular models, which was the BV 500 and the BV 450. Now, this canister technically isn't yet approved for the Pacific Crest Trail in the Sierra section, but I didn't want to get the large one because I just think it's way too big, and I didn't want to get the small one because I think it's way too small. The 475 is right in the middle, and it's literally just, you know, one of the rings are kind of cut off, and I think this will be perfectly fine. I don't see a Ranger having any problem with it as long as I have a proper food storage. Now, what I do need help with is I'm having an incredibly hard time on opening this thing, and I'm just thinking to myself, you know, it's going to be very cold in the Sierra section, and I can't imagine doing that with cold hands in, you know, 20-degree weather in the snow. So if you have any tips or tricks, you longtime bear canister users, please let me know. while we're talking about food, I want to tell you a quick story, and don't click off yet because there's some benefit to hearing this story for you guys. Packet Gourmet, one of my favorite backpacking vendors. Been using them for 7 years. Had some of their food on the AT, had a lot of it on the Superior Hiking Trail, if you remember that hike way back in the day, if you've been following for a while. They reached out to me. They said, hey, Frozen, we heard you're hiking the PCT and want to send you a ton of free food. And I got the order set up in my cart right now. And I'll tell you what, they're hooking me up with so much free food. The generosity of that company is just incredible. And I'm so excited to eat this food on the PCT. I'm saving it for the PCT. But it's going to be delicious. But anyway, they also want to extend the offer to my subscribers, my viewers. So if you want to make an order on Packet Gourmet and you want to save some money, use the code FROZEN15 at checkout and you'll get 15% off your order. Now that code is valid until March 15th. And then what I'll probably do is we'll probably do it again at some point when I'm on the Pacific Crest Trail, because I know they're going to send me a resupply box at some point. I don't know exactly when, but when they do, we'll probably kind of coincide that release of that video with another 15% off discount. They're really good guys. I'm not getting a kickback or affiliates or compensation for any of this. They're just a really good food company, which I'm sure a ton of you know already. So 15% off your order is pretty good. Some of my recommendations are Kickin' Chicken Hot Wings, absolutely delicious. All-American Works Burger, so good. And then for those people that really love sweets on the trail, which are definitely me, the strawberry cheesecake, or maybe it's just regular cheesecake, but it is so good. Just add cold water to that. They have more elaborate meals where they're not boil in a bags, they're like skillet meals. So for you campers out there that really like to do a lot of cooking out there, definitely give them a looky-see. And I hope that helps you guys. 15%, that's very generous. Thank you, Packet Gourmet, for sending me a whole boatload of food. I'm so excited to eat this stuff. And if you have any questions or tips on how to open this more efficiently, because I'm struggling, like I said, let me know down in the comment section below. And for any of you California, Oregon, and Washington residents that live close to the trail that just they want to hook me up or support me in any way, take me into town, offer a ride, whatever, frozenhikes@gmail.com is the email address I'll be using while out on the PCT. So anyway, enough of my rambling. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the trail, everybody. Thanks for watching.